Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I am Denise Armenio, certified emotion code, body code, and genius biofeedback practitioner and group energy facilitator. So happy to have everybody here today, whether you're with me live or you will be watching this on the replay. I look forward to showing you how to work with your Genius app and also work with a volunteer and showing you how I work through the protocol for the Genius. So I am just going to start sharing my screen here. And we already have a volunteer selected. So Mitzi, if you just want to unmute yourself. And I'm going to add your name in here. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yep. So hello. So I have your name in there. Is there, what is your date of birth? If you can just remind me.
July 30th, 1952.
Okay, great. So for anybody that's new, any new client that you have that you had not worked on before, you enter all their information here on this main screen. And then once you have them entered here and all their information, they become a client and you can then find their records if you access your client record. So you only have to enter a person one time on this main page. So now that I have that information, I can hit continue with new analysis. If I had been in the middle of an analysis with someone and for whatever reason, if I lost electricity or power or the Genius crashed or my computer crashed for whatever reason, and you were in the middle of a session, you could go back to that session by hitting load current client results, and it will bring you back to that information. But we're going to select continue with new analysis. Okay, so Mitzi, what issues would you like to work with today?
I would like to work with do you want to do identifying wellness markers?
No. That's just what it says. You tell me, like, do you have any physical pain? Do you have any emotional issues? I know you had some worry the last time I spoke with you, but like, is there anything physical that's bothering you that you'd like to address?
Yes, my eyes.
Okay. And what specifically again on your eyes?
I just discovered I have cataracts on my eyes and macular degeneration.
Whoops, it's not. Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 10, how are they feeling today? 10 being severe.
Let's see. I would say 5.
Okay. And is there anything else?
I guess I would say that's the main thing that's on my mind.
And what are the symptoms that you experience? This is really like, the diagnosis, let's say, but what are the symptoms that you experience with this?
Some blurry, cloudy vision in my left eye.
Okay, and so your right eye is okay?
It seems to be, but according to the ophthalmologist, it isn't. So, but yeah, originally I'm just getting the symptoms in my left eye.
Okay. Well, we'll still work on both eyes.
Yes.
Your
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm just gonna, I don't know if it has blurred vision. We'll just check that off in here. I don't know if it had anything else, but okay, so I'm just gonna hit begin from here. Whatever you fill in here, this does not affect the scan in any way. And I also just like to put at the beginning the date that that you were experiencing these symptoms, so that if I come back to this and work on a next session, this will still be here and I can just add to these like record notes that you have for you.
Sounds good.
Okay, so here you're familiar with this, I think, but I will count you down. I'll say 3, 2, 1, begin. And then I would just like you to say your full name and then repeat the vowels A, E, I, O, U until this 15-second counter gets down to 0. And for anybody that is new here, this is one of the really cool features of the Genius is that it analyzes your voice, and it gets a lot of its information on your energetic flow of energy and where there are disturbances or not disturbances in your field. So this is a really, really important part of the Genius. So, okay, are you ready? I'm going to count you down. Oh, hold on. I just have to share the sound. Okay. So 3, 2, 1, begin.
Mitzi Gold, A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O.
That's perfect. Thank you. So now if you notice on the bottom left-hand corner, it says voice harmonics. And this is, I really suggest everyone to always use this after you record someone's voice. This is, will let you see how the Genius has translated your spoken voice into a frequency. And it also works as a homeopathic where like cancels out like. So you do get some healing benefit when you listen to this. So I'm just going to play this back for you. Okay, and so from here now we can just select next. Screenshot of you for the picture.
Oh, okay. If you don't want to look at me now, I just woke up. So
Well, I can use the image. It's just not going to be as correct, but hold on, I just need to.
you want me to send you a picture?
You know what, just for time's sake, I'll just use this. It's fine.
Okay. I have a nice picture here though.
A current one from today?
Not from today, from about maybe a week ago.
Let me just do this. It's easier. And my Zoom functions are giving me a little bit of a problem. So. And now I can just go into, now that I've added that picture into my iPhotos, I can select on the avatar and hit existing photo. And there you are. And I can use that. And I'll say begin analysis. Okay, and now I can just select continue. Now the Genius is asking for an energetic affirmation. Did you have a particular affirmation you would like to work with today, or do you want me to use the one that I usually use.
You can use I am alive with the motivating power of action.
Okay, I am alive with the
Motivating power of action.
yep action. And so it is. Okay, great. Okay, so now when I select okay, what the Genius will do is now it will translate the written word into a frequency, and that frequency will be overlaid every time we run a scan here on this session. So I'm just going to select okay. And I will hit begin analysis. And the Genius, once it begins analysis, it will, you'll see it like scrolling through body, biofield, and mind. And it will order how the importance or the priority for you in this particular session. Those that are on the trial or have the basic model of Genius would not have this custom libraries banner here at the bottom unless you have created your own libraries, and then this would appear, or you've purchased libraries. So if this is not there, then you don't have any additional libraries. So I'm just going to hit begin analysis. So for you, what's come up is the biofield is what is the most important to work on for you today, then the mind, then the body, and it doesn't sort the custom libraries. That's always going to appear at the bottom. So the first thing I always just like to look at, because I forget if I don't do it first thing, is I'll go right to the aura and I'll just click on that line and I can hit begin analysis, and this will give us your aura picture. So this will be your before aura picture. Okay, so we can look at this. I like to hide the avatar so we can see what's behind it, because if you don't remove the avatar, you miss these two layers. Now this the tiny layer inside that represents your physical layer, and it is a bright, healthy green, like a neon green. That is a healthy green. So that is good that that's next to your body. If we look from the outside layers in, this grayish kind of black that is kind of covering these outer layers is probably an interference, negative energy of some sort that you have. Again, it is in your, as you go further out dimensionally in your aura. So it's not something that's close to your body, but it is something that hopefully that we could work with a little bit and clear. And I always suggest working with the spiritual protection library, especially when you have that. You may want to work with EMFs and some grounding. We can look at the switch to old, and that will give us the old version of the aura, and it does give us different information. What I like to look at and when I stress mostly is you want to see all four corners filled with color. If it's not filled with color, it means you're not grounded and you're not all the way in your body, and you always want to be all the way in your body. So that is what we are seeing here with you. So you are in beautiful Hawaii. So hopefully you can get out and walk around on that barefoot on the grass, or hug a palm tree, or
Yeah,
go.
gotta do that.
So anyway, we will work on that a little bit with you today, as well as your eyes. So after that, I just want to go over a little bit what the numbers mean for the Genius. For anybody that is unfamiliar with it, the Genius works on a numerical value system. And The numbers range from 0 to 777. 0 to 200 is represented by the color blue. And items in this range, in this blue range, are observed to be chronic energetic disturbances. So you've had those disturbances for a longer period of time. They may also be referred to as stagnant energy or under energy, meaning that it's not getting enough energy. The next range, it goes from 201 to 450, and that is represented by the color green. And from there we go 451 to 599, and that is represented by the color yellow. And then we go to our highest range, which goes from 600 to 777. That is represented by the color red. And those items are observed to be your acute energetic disturbances. They are happening now in the present. It's what's stressing you. It's what's stressing your body and your field right now. It can also be referred to as heat or inflammation or over energy. So it's getting too much energy or too much like stimulation. Then people always like to ask, well, what is normal? You know, is it yellow? Is it green? I like to see it tighter. So I would love to see everything between the 400 to 600 range. And that will show up mostly in the yellow, but there is some overlap in that with the green because the green goes up to 450. But you don't have to stay that tight. You can just be happy with between 200 and 599 and work with those values in there. But like I said, I like to keep it tight. So as I work, you'll see that that's how most of the time I'm adding items into my tray is to hopefully get items into that range. So the next thing I just wanted to point out is these arrows to the left of all these library names. And that's just there to let you know that you can go a level deeper. So if I were to click on these arrows next to chakra, you can see all the different chakra names here. There's also a little magnifying glass that will give you a little bit more information on, let's say, the crown chakra, and that will tell you it has to do with the nervous system, wellness, and divine realization. If you click on the arrow again, it closes that. And you can also click on the red line itself, and then it will show you the same information, but it will show you with the color representation, and it just makes it a little bit easier in your mind to sort what you want to work with. So the first thing I like to do when I am working with a client is, number one, I always like to have them drink water before and after the session, and always just to keep a glass of water with them in case they should need it. So Mitzi, if you do have water, hopefully you've had some already, but if you didn't, if you can drink some. And then the next thing I'd like to do is work with your biofield. Now that's perfect because that is what is in need for you right here as a priority. But I also like to do the setup to set up your whole body, like to set up your foundation, not just working with the biofield, but also adding in your minerals, your vitamins, your amino acids, and your spinal energy. So for anybody that does not have the BioTerrain bundle, which includes the priming vessel library, that is what I would recommend you to do to start off. I do have that library, so I'm just going to go to custom libraries. This way everybody can get an idea of how to work in and out with different custom libraries. And now that I have about 2,000 libraries, so there are a lot here. So sometimes we do have a few minute delay while the genius sorts through everything. But I'm just going to hit begin analysis. Okay, I just wanted to answer, I think. Why do some library titles have no? When these titles are selected, it may go to functional zones. Tammy, I'm not sure what you mean. The only library that does not have a sub-library would be the Aura. And that's only because it goes into the analysis of the Aura. Maybe you want to give more of a specific, or are you talking in custom libraries? But I'm just a little unclear. The one library that goes down twice is meridians, and it goes from meridians to the names of each of the 12 meridians. And then when you get to that page, then you can look at all the meridian points for the specific meridian. But I'm not sure actually what you're referring. So hopefully I can answer that for you a little bit later. Anyway, I'm going to go click on, in the middle of this screen, you can see this little arrow on the like black tab, and that brings up an advanced search. So I'm just going to hit on this magnifying button, and I can enter bioterrain because I know that's the title of the library that I have. And we see vessel priming frequencies. Now, I know I want to work with all these frequencies, and I want to work with all of them, even all the reds, yellows, greens, and blues, because these are important and foundational elements. So I'm going to add all of them, and I could just drag down that title. Now it's going to add all the items within that library as well as the title name, which is why it says 157 down here on the bottom. I can open it up for you though, and you will see some of the red items in here: stomach, meridian, sacrum. We can go, you can go on and looking at that. And you could also, up here on the search bar, click 0 to 100, and you can see some of the ones that have been out of balance on a more chronic level. But anyway, we're going to go right to the play button, which is down on the main hold tray. And now I can hit begin analysis. Okay, and so what I like to do is always select all of the items first, and then I'll move the timer toggle to 1 minute, and I'll select play there and just run all of these for 1 minute. You can hear me. Okay, before I talk about the average percent rectification, just to answer Tammy's question, she said in custom libraries, there are no subcategories. When you create a library, a custom library, you always create a title, and then you have the items within that library. So you would have the title name, and you would probably have it, if probably just one item at a minimum. Like you might just have repeat the title name as an item name if that's the only thing that you want in there. But you're never going to have like subcategories unless it's a master branch. And then because you've created a master branch, it goes master branch library and then the contents of the library. But I would suggest you go back to the YouTube where I talk about all that and you can see it. Okay, I hope that helped. Anyway, Mitzi, back to you. So we had an average percent rectification of 23%. I like to see 40% here. And in fact, if you get above 40%, you'll get a little pop-up message and a congratulations and excellent. If the percent rectification was above 40. I do like to see that higher. And I also like to see the harmony, alignment, and energy flow. I don't like to, I like to see the range in this number within 20%. So it's actually going above the 20% there. So since both of these numbers are off, I do want to run that again, but I'm going to first deselect all of them. And I'm just going to click on the lows and the highs, move the timer to 0 minutes so I can run these for just 30 seconds and see if we get a little bit of movement that way. Okay, that's still low. So, you know, here we want to try to see what we can do to kind of jumpstart that. So I'm thinking maybe we're working with too many. I will deselect the low. So now I'm just working with the high, and we'll see if 30 seconds with just the highs will help. Bit of movement when we lowered the amount of frequencies that we were working with. I'm just going to select OK. And then I am going to and I'm going to select all of them and again run it for 1 minute. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So we'll just run all of these again for 1 minute and see if we get a little better rectification here. You do have above 40, it's 62%. And the range between harmony, alignment, and energy flow is great. There's only a 4% range between those. So that's really great. I'm really happy with that. So I don't feel that I have to work with these anymore. So now I will just arrow back and go to the system overview page. And I'm also going to go to the main hold tray, and we're just going to give this beach ball. There we go. And I'm going to hit clear all. And now the second thing I would like to do, so if you're looking at like a protocol type thing, the first protocol would be to run all the priming frequencies to prepare your body. And now we can go back to the system overview and click on system overview. We'll get to the general overview, and there the Genius will take every line item from this page and from my libraries and sort them chronologically. So it will no longer be chronological by category or library panel, but everything mixed in all together. The reason why I find this is a really important step is because when you're doing energy healing work, anything can cause anything. So even for you, Mitzi, where we're working on your vision, some of the more probable things that we may look at for vision are great and we want to work with them, but what's causing them to be out of balance could be something that you wouldn't normally think to look at. So this will allow us to like look at underlying causes or root causes. So again, since I have so many libraries, I have so many line items. So I can't possibly add all the reds or all the blues because I would have, over 10,000 line items, and working with that many items is just too much to send all those frequencies to your body. So if you go to this little plus button, you will see that it says add top 50 and add bottom 50. I will select both of those. So you'll see now that the main hold tray now has 100 items. We can look quickly. If you look at the top, it says 0 to 100. If I click on that, it will then give me the reciprocal view. So for you, we're seeing your leptin hormones are out of balance, copper, and look at that, your eyes are showing up. So the Genius is spot on here by picking that up. We see the medulla, another gem used for for stability and grounding. We can go on, and I would look at this further if it wasn't a demo, but again, for time purposes, I'm not going to look through all these. I would then go up to the top again, and where it says remove library, I want to click on that. And what that does is it removes all the custom library item lines, and now it just leaves me with all the line items from the system overview page. And so again, I will add the top 50 and the bottom 50. And this allows me to really work well with all the issues on this system overview page. Now, if you wanted to and you didn't have any libraries, you could add all the blue items or you could add all the red items. You really have some flexibility in here on how you want to work with it. I'm working with it using the top 50 and bottom 50 based on the fact that I already have 100 items in the main hold tray. So now I'm just going to go and press the play button on the right-hand side on the bottom. And again, begin and okay, and we can select all. And again, I like to run all of them for 1 minute. And we can just scroll a little bit to see some of the things that are in here. I just wanted to see where the eyes were showing up. If anybody sees it or I move past it, please, you can say something that I haven't. Oh, and there they are. Well, they're showing it medium, but they may raise to the top after we run these and rescan it. So let's see what happens. here, you did have over 40% rectification. It's 41, and the harmony, alignment, and energy flow are within that 20%. So I like that too. We can just deselect these, and we can just we can select. I want to reset. Okay, and now we can select the lows and the highs, and I will move the timer to 0, and we'll just let this run for 30 seconds. Okay, so this is at 35%. Mitzi, I'm just curious, just because I'm seeing that this one line item had shown up about hydration, and only because we had some panels before that were low. Do you feel that you drink plenty of water throughout the day, or do you struggle to drink enough water? Just curious, as because this is indicating to me that maybe you're not hydrated.
I actually this morning I was I got a call at 6 a.m. It's now about 8:30. So actually I just kind of got up, but I did drink the structured water that I made
Okay.
when you said to drink something. So it's just I haven't done any of my morning routine at all. I just kind of
Okay,
rolled
so
out of bed.
maybe picking it up because this snapshot of your energy would have been taken then before really you took that glass of water, and maybe it's just taking a little bit of time to catch up. If you have more, maybe you want to drink more. I just noticed it said that, so I just thought I would mention it.
Yeah, I really try to focus on drinking lots of different liquids all day.
So, well, good. You just, you will dehydrate quicker using these frequencies. So you may have to, depending on how much you're using it, you may have to increase the amount you do drink per day.
Okay.
So we had a 35% rectification. Again, the harmony, alignment, and energy flow are within that 20%. That's pretty close to the 40%. So I'm not going to continue to work on that. I'm pretty happy with that. So we can go back out now. I am going to clear the main whole tray. Now, the next thing I wanted to just look at for you is number 1, let's look at just see what the today's stress is. So it's showing nutritional again. Now that would make sense since you just woke up, you haven't had water, you haven't had anything to eat, it sounds like. So as
No.
stressed out in the moment, that does make sense. Connective tissue, lymphatic. This is just all stressed in the moment. If we go down to the chronic, environmental, heavy metal toxicity, pathogens, infection, blood sugar, emotional degeneration, we can add all of these into the main whole tray. Oh, I'll also add the red ones. And then the other thing I want to look at in here for you is, let's go to organs. And we'll go down here to your eyes. Now, I'm going to click on eyes, which is going to bring us to the entangled insights. And let's see what kind of information we can get from the database here. So if it says load all insights. So we can look for all specific different areas, but since I don't really know which one might be the best to go after, I'm going to look at them all. And then if you click on check, okay, so again, there are a lot of items in here. So I'm not going to be adding all the reds or all the blues. There is, but I will add the top 50 and the bottom 50. And even the top 50 is probably more than I needed because it goes well past 100, but that's okay. So we could add all of those in and we can back out. It has filled up our main hold tray quite a bit, but I'm still going to go back and go into our custom libraries. And let's just see what I have in here for vision. And we can look at, let's just add in the reds and the blues here. Sorry, I'm just waiting. It's just a little bit slow. I do have to go back to the other update. If you did the latest update and you're experiencing it being a little bit low, you can revert back to the old one. It's just that they tried to update an issue with the libraries, and since there are so many items in the libraries, it just causes the Genius to be a little slower. So if you see it being a problem, you can revert back to the last update, which I believe, I forget the number. Well, you can email if you're having a problem. I do have another library that I'm looking for. And these are not it. Whoops. Oh, here it is. So here we have cataracts showing on top, cataracts again, macular degeneration. So let's add these red items in here and the blue. And let's just go back. And thank you, Karen. She is there is an iridology library. Here we go. That we can add in the reds and the blues. Thank you for seeing that, Karen. And was one other library that I didn't. I think this is, I already did similar to these, but we'll just add these. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to the play button on the main hold tray and we can hit begin analysis. And I'm going to select all in 1 minute. rectification. And it goes from 45 to 65. So you're right within that 20% in there. So that's awesome. I'm just going to deselect all of them. And we had a high percent rectification. So I'm going to so we can select the lows and the highs. And now I'll put the timer to 0 so I can play these for 30 seconds. And again, I'm happy with the numbers on those up top. So that is great. Mitzi, do you want to just like blink or just move a little bit and see if you, I don't know if we had enough time to run it long enough to see if there's any change, but just curious if you notice any shifts in your blurriness or the cloudiness that you're experiencing.
If I look out of, each eye at one at a time, I still have some blurriness in my left eye, but basically, my strong eye, my right eye is kind of taking over. So when I look around the room, I'm seeing pretty clearly everything. Feeling just a lightness of my being. Kind of, I don't know, it could be kind of waking up also. So yeah, overall positive feeling.
Okay, just curious, and you had like put it at a 5 out of 10. Is it still at a 5 out of 10? Is that what I'm hearing from you, or?
I think it's more like a 2 right now.
Okay, so it went down, so that's great. We can try, let's try, I'm gonna rescan again. And I'm just going to run the lows for 30 seconds. And now I'm just going to deselect the lows and select the highs. Do the same thing. You also see that it has a cataracts in here and normalized left eye function. So hopefully. So that's much lower. So that's at 9%. Now 9% is still better than 0, right? But I do like to see that a little bit higher. So let's move this up to 1 minute and run all these highs and see how you do. Okay, well, it's not at 40%, but it did go up to 26%, so that is great. We are getting close to the hour, so I do want to go back to the system page and just see where how your aura is looking. And then we might just close it out by running some of the stability and grounding frequencies, because you were a little bit out of your body there. So let's just look at your aura again. And okay, and we can clear the avatar there. So again, the bright green color in the center is good. The darker color, so just pointing out when we want to see light, bright, vibrant colors, you want not the pale side, but the bright lightness side, almost like that, almost like a fluorescent color. So this darker green isn't as good as when you're seeing like that fluorescent looking green, but we did see a shift in a lot of that. There still is that gray dirty look here, and it's blurry, so there is still more stuff to clear, but this does look better to me. Let's just see how you're grounded. A little bit better grounded, they're still a little bit lifted, so let's just go to my custom libraries and we can look at the Alaskan, which the gem elixirs, which help with stability and grounding, is blue, which would suggest this has been out of balance. So we can select that. And I'm just going to add the reds and the blues to the quick zap. I guess I could have also have done a quick balance. It's really 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And let's just run these for 30 seconds. Percent rectification here, and it's nice and tight. So let's just look and see what kind of shift in the aura, if it's helped with your grounding. How are you feeling? Have you felt any additional shifts since we worked a little bit more on your eyes?
My body feels good. My energy feels good. Much more forward directed now. I'm kind of like waking up for my day and feel present.
Okay, let's just okay, so we can remove the avatar. It's still blurry, but we're seeing, I'm seeing less of that gray, so that's good. Again, the center looks great. I would still want to work on this grounding piece for you. It's still a little bit, the color is lifted, so you can work on that later or tomorrow. Just keep working on it, or go outside and ground a little bit to try to get you back in your body a little bit. We are at 3 o'clock, so I know everybody has busy schedules and has things to do. So I'm just going to stop sharing. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer. I also wanted to point out and thank you to Karen. She just makes suggestions on the side that some meridians that are good for the eyes. I didn't go back and look at them. I'm kind of thinking that the genius, if those points were out of balance, they would have shown when we worked in the general overview. So hopefully I would have worked with some of those, and that would kind of be the same for the EMF areas. We could have probed a little deeper on those, but hopefully if they were in the reds or in the blues that needed attention today, hopefully maybe we would have addressed that already. But that is something that you could definitely go back and look at. And Mitzi, you can definitely look at that when you're working with your genius on your own, is some of those points. So if you could always save the chat if you need some of that information for you. And again, thanks, Karen, for adding some of that information. Much appreciated. So thank you, everybody. Look forward to seeing you next week. Again, any questions, please email me at Denise@Inside Health Apps. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you have any support issues or issues, glitches, or things not working right with your Genius, you can send those to support@Inside Health Apps. And let's see, there's one other question. Does the bioterrain library have a particular certification that's given? No, not at this time. It does not. But we do work with it a lot here, and it just, the more familiar, I'm having a total tongue tie right now, but the more familiar you get with it and work with it, the easier it gets. You cannot make any mistakes working with the Genius because your body will only accept what frequency it needs. It will not accept the frequencies it does not need. So work with confidence, follow your gut, and have a great week and happy balancing. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. And thank you, Claire, for all your help in answering some of those questions on the side that I didn't get to. I really appreciate that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a great day, everyone. And thank you, Mitzi, for volunteering.
I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day and enjoy all those beautiful rainbows.
I know. I'm always amazed at all of them.
So, well, good. Send me a picture of a nice one.
Okay.
Have a great day, everyone.
Okay. Aloha.
Aloha.